Hi, and welcome back to my channel. For today, I'm going to be telling you 16 things that I wish I had known before I started my first year of veterinary school. If you do like this video and want to see more things like this, please let me know down in the comments, give this a like, and subscribe for more. And I hope you enjoy the video. For the first thing, there is no right way to study. Every class is super different, everyone learns differently, so you will need to figure out what study methods work for you and have multiple different types of study methods because, like I said before, every class is very different. Number 2, you will always feel like you are behind. Even if you are not behind at all, you always feel like you have so much extra stuff to do, like studying, doing practice questions, doing Kahoots. There's always something more that can be done, but just try and tell yourself that you are not actually behind in studying. You just feel like you are. Number 3, imposter syndrome is a real thing. So in a lot of graduate programs, this is kind of a syndrome that is based on you not feeling like you're good enough for the field that you were accepted into. Even though that could be further from the truth, we always just are really hard on ourselves and we don't need to be. Definitely learning what this is before you get into your first year of vet school will greatly help you to prevent it. Because I wish I had done the same. I'm just now in my second year trying to figure out how to prevent myself from feeling like I'm not good enough for this field. Because at the end of the day, I was accepted into the veterinary program, just like you were if you're watching this and you were just recently accepted, or are feeling the same way in your first or second year of vet school. Just try not to be too hard on yourself. Work out ways to compliment yourself each day, to see the value that you bring to the veterinary medicine field. Number 4, this one is probably the biggest one that I didn't realize when I was coming into first year of vet school, but there are a lot of sacrifices you have to make as a vet student. I knew there would be some, but I wasn't prepared for all of the sacrifices I had to make. What I'm meaning is that you have to solely dedicate your life basically to vet school because there really is no other time for anything else. So like relationships, it's really, really hard to start one in vet school. Also, you probably will have a lot of friends who are not in the field, not really understanding why you don't have as much time to communicate with them. Sometimes family members have a really difficult time with this too, especially if they're not in any science field. You also have to sacrifice a lot of time to doing activities that you like to do or hobbies. So just keep that in mind when you are applying to vet school, or if you are actually going to vet school soon, that this is what you will want to prepare for. If you do want to continue on some of your hobbies, just set some time in your schedule to actually do those hobbies. Number 5, this is the best and the worst thing to happen to you that you got into vet school. It's honestly the best feeling in the world when you get that acceptance letter and you're about to move into your apartment or dorm for the first time. And honestly, I felt the same way until I was about 3 weeks into the first round of classes, and I felt like I knew nothing. And you are very sleep deprived all the time. Coffee is your best friend. I learned that during my first year, because before then, I had never drank coffee before. Honestly, you are pushed to your limits every day in vet school, and it is not always easy. You are dealing with very difficult topics with clients sometimes. And at SGU, at least, we are taught from the very beginning on different scenarios on how to talk to different clients. I know with my second year, we are going into more detail about that. It's a very difficult field to be in. Not many people realize this. A lot of my family members actually thought this was a great field to be in just to work with puppies and kittens. And that could be further from the truth with this field. You are dealing with so much all at the same time. Number 6, transitioning from technician or assistant thinking to doctor thinking is super hard. I was definitely not prepared for the terminology that was thrown at us for the first year and a half. I had to search up so many different things to figure out what the word actually meant. I don't know, it's hard to switch your thinking into problem solving instead of just getting what the doctor wants you to get as a technician or an assistant or doing like technical skills. It's very different for a doctor because we have to read all of the CBCs, chemistries, urinalysis, cytologies. We have to know kind of what diagnostics we need to run at the same time. As doctors, we also need to make the treatment plans to figure out what best drug or treatment to use for a patient. So it's very different thinking. Number 7, being away from home is hard, especially if you are on an island school. It's not always easy to get home. Even if you are close to where you live, you probably won't see your family as often as you think because you are going to be so hard focused on the studying aspect of vet school and learning all of the skills you need to learn in order to do well on your NAVLE exam, which is the licensing exam. Number 8, so the family, friends, and neighbors' viewpoint on the field. This I was not prepared for at all when I was first accepted into vet school. When my family and I started telling our neighbors that I was going to veterinary school in the fall, they were questioning as to why I was going to Grenada instead of staying in the States. And I had to explain to them how few veterinary programs there are, and they didn't realize that there was such a shortage of vet schools and a shortage of veterinarians. And then they were wanting like discounts as well, even though I wasn't a full-on veterinarian yet. And I just didn't really know how to go about these types of discussions. So once I got into vet school, I started learning a little bit more about how to handle these situations. I will share with you one of my experiences that I had before I even made it to vet school. One of our neighbors had a really bad emergency with her dog. He actually started choking on some food that the owner had given him, and he was turning blue, which is nothing you want to ever see in an animal, because that is actively choking, can't get any oxygen in. So they banged on our door and told me to get outside really quickly in a very rude way, which I get. It was a stressful situation. However, I wasn't a veterinarian. So they waited a good 10 minutes before taking the dog to the emergency room, which unfortunately he did pass because it was too late at that point. Honestly, I couldn't believe that this neighbor was yelling at me to save her animal and getting mad at me because I told her that I couldn't because I wasn't a veterinarian yet. Because as veterinary students, we are not allowed to practice veterinary medicine unless under the direct supervision of an actual licensed vet. These were just some of the experience I had getting ready to go to vet school. Be prepared for some of that. So number 9 follows quite a bit with number 8. This is keeping your veterinary career as private as possible. Try to limit how many people you actually tell this news to, because you want people who are going to support you along the way and not just hinder it or have certain situations where they're yelling at you because you can't help their pet. Number 10, C's get degrees. This is all that you need to be a veterinarian. Obviously, you have to pass your licensing exam as well, but all you need in your vet school career is C's. And if you do that and then pass your licensing exam, you will be a veterinarian. So it really doesn't matter what grades you get. Number 11, finances. Everyone knows who's been thinking about going to vet school or has recently been accepted into vet school that veterinary medical school costs a lot of money. Like, it's crazy the amount of money we have to actually spend to get our degrees. But I am talking about the unexpected costs. So there are so many unexpected costs that I have ran into that was never fully discussed. So it's actually more expensive than what I originally thought going into vet school. So I wanted to share that with all of you too. It may not be the same everywhere, but I know for SGU we had to purchase our own surgical gowns. We had to purchase surgical equipment. It's pretty limited on the island on what they have, so they asked us to bring that and suture material. They asked us to bring scrubs, the LARF boots, which is the Large Animal Facility Biosecurity boots. I'm sure there's going to be more additional costs that I don't even know about or I've mentioned yet. It's a lot of expense. Try to have a little bit of wiggle room in your FAFSA loans to help pay off some of those unexpected costs, because it adds up very quickly. And trying to figure out a good budgeting system sometimes ends up not working very well, especially if you are caught off guard by some of these unexpected costs. Number 12, job offers in vet school. So I was completely unprepared with the amount of job offers I would receive while in vet school, even though I still have another 2 years to go. They still have been trying to offer me a job, so I actually put a list together of these places to do externships with, potentially during my clinical year. And hopefully it could lead to a job as well once I get out. I just didn't realize how much of a veterinary shortage there was until I got into vet school. Try and be open-minded about what you would like to do, because you will get job offers from every different part of this field. You will never have a problem not finding a job out of vet school. You will be hired by so many different vet clinics that you just need to figure out which one you want to work at. Number 13. Remaining organized really helps. I wish I had known this more as a first-year veterinary student. The more organized you are, the better you are going to feel about school entirely, because you have so many different classes, you have a lot of different material that you're learning at a given time. So definitely have like a to-do planner would be your best friend during vet school. Number 14. Maintain your mental health as much as possible. Go to counseling if you need to. Talk to some of your friends, classmates, family, whoever you can talk to, honestly, and however you can maintain your mental health. Like, go for walks or go to the beach, walk your dog. Anything will do. I wish I had personally known this as a first-year vet student, because my mental health was really, really bad during first year. So definitely try to work out ways where you can better your mental health throughout your vet school career. Number 15, asking for help from your classmates and professors. In vet school, it is highly encouraged to go to your professors and your classmates to get extra help if you need it, because at the end of the day, you're all in the same program. You can definitely help each other out, and all of these courses are classes that you will actually need as a veterinarian. So You do need to understand and learn the material as much as possible, but if you do struggle in something, try and get some extra help. You can also attend lectures and webinars if you want to. Number 16, your classmates are your future colleagues. So technically, I already knew this coming in, but I still expected there to be a little bit of competition going on, but that actually wasn't the case when I got to vet school. A lot of my classmates were super helpful. We compared notes, we helped each other out with certain topics if one of us was stronger in that area. Since this field is so small, you will probably see your classmates again at some point, either during a conference, or you might even be working in the same area that they're in, or even at the same clinic. So definitely treat your classmates with respect. That is going to be all of the things that I wish I had known before I went into my first year of vet school. If you do have any questions, or you actually have another thing that you learned during your first year of vet school that I didn't mention, please put it down below to help future vet students. And I do hope you all have a great day.